So this is the video for men sharing a thought I've had about relationships with women. And what it is in my own life I've decided to no longer have sex with women because I see too much of a risk in doing so. Having sex with a new woman, an unknown woman, is basically a risk for me in my life. And the risk is that if I have sex with a woman, she could claim that the sex was not wanted and that essentially I was a rapist. And I would not be in a position to defend myself effectively. If I have sex with a woman and she claims that the sex was not wanted and was imposed on her, I don't see how I could counter that. I don't see how I could defend myself from an accusation of rape. I would be in an extremely weak position if a woman wants to make a claim I raped her, a false claim of rape, and there's very little I could do to defend myself. Is this kind of thinking that's made me decide to not pursue sex with women anymore? I don't know if this will be permanent, but it's definitely something I won't do for now. I won't have sex with an unknown woman, or any woman, to be honest. And I am thinking that a man is in a very weak position if he has sex with a woman. If he goes out with his mates, whatever, and he meets a woman and things go well, and then maybe he goes back home with her that same night, whatever, or arrange a date, whatever. The bottom line is sex will become a possibility. But if a man has sex with a woman, he is vulnerable to a woman's false accusation of rape. I don't see how a man can defend himself if a woman wants to claim that he imposed himself on her and he forced her to have sex against her will. A man is very vulnerable to a woman's false allegation. I don't see how a man can do anything to defend himself. So I've decided in my own life to not put myself in a position where I might be falsely accused of rape. So I am not able to have a sexual relationship with the woman again. For myself, I don't see it as advisable for me to take the risk of having sex with an unknown woman. I'm conscious and aware that this might sound unreasonable, but it does seem to me that a man having sex with a woman is putting his life in the woman's hand. He is relying on her honesty, and he is very vulnerable to her lying about his behavior. And I don't see at this moment how a man can defend himself if a woman wants to make the claim that he imposed himself on her and the sex was not wanted, that he was a rapist, in other words. So as I said, I have decided to not seek a relationship with the woman again. It's not something I'll do. I've been married, I've had children, so I've been there and done that, as it were. So the normal thing to do, because my relationship has ended now, the normal thing to do would be to seek a new relationship. But as I say, I have decided to not do that. I will remain single, and I won't be having sex with women again in my life. And as I say, the reason is I see it as a big risk to do so. Because if I go out and meet a woman and we go back and we have sex, a woman could make any claim she wanted about my behaviour or supposed misbehaviour, and I don't see how I could defend myself. So I decided to not put myself in that position. Now, it's obviously a cost in life enjoyment and a change in my behaviour throughout my adult life. But I do think it is wise for me, and I do intend to see it through. I don't feel comfortable in putting myself in danger, essentially, or being falsely accused of rape. It is a strange situation, and I appreciate that I could be seen as being unreasonable. But as I say, I don't see how I'm not putting myself at risk of a false accusation. So I basically will not have sex with a woman in life. And that's a decision I've made, and I do intend to see it through.